Hi, I'm Diva from Musical Hell, and I know the score.
I always get a little giddy when my obsession with musicals and my semi-casual fondness for video games intersect, even if the results can be a bit of a mixed bag. The soundtracks for Supergiant's Hades series have lived rent-free in my head since 2020, but even though Darren Korb's song contributions are top-notch, the games themselves aren't really musicals. Stray Gods has a magnificent concept and a stellar voice cast, but I've discovered I prefer something a little more action-heavy than the visual novel format. But at long last, I believe I've found a game that strikes the right chord. If that pun made you cringe, you might want to brace yourself, because I'm about to get into Iridium Studios and Annapurna Interactive's new RPG, People of Note. In the world of Note, music is in everything, from the social structures to the architecture to creatures like accorgions, and weird owls? Oh, I get it. The story follows Cadence, an aspiring singer in the pop music city of Cordia, who has ambitions of unseating boy band Smolder from their perch as long-reigning champions of the annual Noteworthy competition. On being told her music lacks originality, Cadence leaves her hometown to explore the wider world in search of a sound that can take her over the top, and, as is often the way of these things, ends up caught up in much bigger events with world-shattering implications. Unlike Stray Gods or Karma Flow, the songs in People of Note aren't interactive and play out during music video cutscenes. But this is a feature more than a bug, as it allows you to sit back and enjoy the show, which can range from cleverly tongue-in-cheek to exhilarating to moving. Although the primary characters in the game are centered around the mainstream genres of pop, rock, EDM, and rap, the soundtrack is much more expansive, with forays into country, Celtic folk, classical, and more. Iridium's music department clearly knows their stuff, demonstrating a knowledge of the unique stylistic conventions of these sounds. For example, Imposter, EDM DJ Cynthia's confession of their self-doubts, features the heavily layered and modified vocals you would expect from their music.
I'm an imposter. I exit stage left. I know that it draws me.
Compare that with Spitting Image, the solo for Vox, Rap Prince of Fire. There's vocal modification here as well, but it's much lighter, and the piece is more lyrically and rhythmically complex, showcasing rap's affinity for wordplay and complicated rhyme schemes.
I just wanna see where it leads to. I just wanna be more equal. I just wanna be less regal. I can hear you telling me it's all about the legacy. Even the idea of the crown weighs heavily. I know it's in my pedigree, but I don't think it's best for me.
Then there's Free Country, sung by the antagonistic leader of the homestead, Lasso. While obviously taking place in a universe completely unlike our own, the valorization of poor but proud people, disdain for urban living, and overt patriotism complete with glockenspiegel, would fit right into the current country music landscape. There's some dramatic irony here that I can't swear is a commentary on any real-world situations, but my mind went in that direction anyway.
The lives we live ain't glamorous. We know you point and laugh. You think that you can bury us, but hell, we gonna fight back.
This attention to detail extends to the background music as well. When you walk through the fractured rock city of Durandus, the sound will shift from metal to punk to grunge, depending on whose turf you're on at the moment. Locations and opponents in Cordia will change the mix from K-pop to 80s new wave to millennial boy band. Combat music also changes depending on buffs and combo moves called mashups. For example, a combat in the tropical coral reef will start with an island beat, but if Cynthia has a bonus during a round or stanza, a techno vibe gets added into that. Throw down a mashup with Cadence and veteran rock guitarist Fret, and the music shifts into pop rock mode while still maintaining the basic island theme.
Nice try.
And while the songs themselves aren't interactive, a lot of the combat is rhythm-based, with the efficacy of moves depending on how well you can match the pattern. There's also a lot of puzzle stages, which might not seem to tie into the theme until you realize the story carries undertones of the mathematical and scientific nature of music, meaning that challenges based on logic and pattern recognition make a lot of sense. I don't think I can recommend People of Note enough to the musical nerds out there. This is a game clearly made as a labor of love by people who are passionate about music, and that means that even though it never takes itself too seriously, it has a lot of heart. And puns. So many puns. I'm Diva, I know the score, and now, so do you.
I could be under the light.